Peace, blessings, and happy risings, YouTube fam. It's your boy, the wisest and most powerful of all nerds, BrimeZus. And today we're going to be talking about the top 10 greatest Black Marvel superheroes for Black History Month. Let's go. Now, given the expansive knowledge and wisdom of BrimeZus, for the sake of time in this video, I can't go over every little thing about every single character because that would take a whole lot of hours, which you don't have. So I'm going to give a small breakdown of every character featured on this list. Kicking off this list, we have the Blue Marvel.
The Blue Marvel, aka Adam Bashir, is one of the most similar characters to Superman that spawns out of the Marvel Universe. Most Superman archetype characters aren't extremely popular because they suffer from severe unoriginality. Their overpoweredness makes them very unrelatable because they could overcome any struggle or obstacles with relative ease. Therefore, it makes them much less interesting than other superheroes such as Spiderman or Batman.
Being one of the most physically strong characters in the entire Marvel Universe, the Blue Marvel possesses vast amounts of strength, speed, stamina, durability, if not complete invulnerability.
He is so strong that he was able to move a meteor the size of Arkansas and beat Hyperion to a pulp single-handedly. He is also a genius and can manipulate molecules and generate energy. In short, he's a black Superman, and he even has his own Fortress of Solitude. He's also been a part of the superhero teams, the Mighty Avengers, and the Ultimates. If you like Superman archetype characters, you should definitely check out the Blue Marvel.
Well, if not, hopefully the other characters on this list will inspire you. Monica Rambeau, aka Spectrum, is the first black female Avenger. In my opinion, Monica Rambeau is the sexiest woman in all of comic books.
There are so many different reasons why she deserves to be on this list, which I will get into later, I promise. But honestly, for me, that's all I needed.
I mean, seriously, I would leave my wife for Monica Rambeau, and she's not even real. Anyway, Spectrum's powers include, hold on, I know this. You know, I'm just gonna get my script, hold on. Her powers include the ability to generate, manipulate, and absorb electromagnetic energy, as well as turn into any form of energy within the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why I can remember so long.
As I said earlier, she became a member of the Avengers and even leader of the main Avengers team for a brief moment in time. Captain Marvel was also part of several other superhero teams such as the Mighty Avengers and the Ultimates.
Although the movies have seen great success, Blade is often forgotten as not only being a superhero, but one of Marvel origin. Before the emasculation of vampires due to a popular vampire franchise, I'm not going to name names, vampires used to be cool. And Blade is a textbook character of everything that a vampire should be.
Blade was hunting vampires long before Buffy came on the scene, and was slaying long before Beyonce had you homegirls chant to get in the car, not even knowing what it means. Blade tracks vampires that walk among humans that try to seduce and feed on unsuspecting prey.
You guys know the saying, never bring a knife to a gunfight unless you're Wesley Snipes.
Blade is a master with swords, as his name would suggest, and is also a crack shot with firearms and other types of weaponry. He is a half-human, half-vampire hybrid, which grants him all of the abilities of a vampire, such as enhanced speed, strength, reflexes, fangs, etc. His human side nullifies the drawbacks the vampires have from elements such as daylight, crosses, and silver. Although he is not as famous as his best friend Tony Stark, Colonel James Rhodes, aka the War Machine, is still one of the most popular characters in both the Marvel comic books and cinema.
I cried tears of joy when Don Cheadle was given the role as War Machine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tears of joy.
Before taking up the mantle of War Machine, James Rhodes actually took up the mantle of Iron Man for a significant amount of time due to Tony Stark trying to recover from alcoholism. When Tony Stark once again became Iron Man, James Rhodes got his own variant of the Iron Man armor that was black and gray and built specifically for all-out war. This armor came to be known as the War Machine armor,
which possessed far more firepower than any of Tony Stark's other Iron Man suits.
Unfortunately, James Rhodes fell in battle in the recent Civil War II storyline while fighting against Thanos. While technically there are two Black Nick Furies, for this list we're talking about the Nick Fury from the 1610 Marvel Universe. It was actually this version of Nick Fury that was featured in the Marvel Cinematic Universe played by Samuel Jackson. Even more interesting, when this depiction of Nick Fury was created, Samuel Jackson contacted Marvel and Disney and claimed the rights to the character if they ever made a movie featuring Nick Fury. Nick Fury, as many of you all know, is or was the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's before he was replaced by Mariah Hill, but that's a story for another day. If you don't know what S.H.I.E.L.D. is, S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for Strategic Hazard Intervention Espionage Logistics Directorate. Wow, that's a tongue twister. But wait, I'm not done. And in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. Basically, it's Marvel's version of the CIA, which deals with superhuman and or supervillain threats that can affect government domestic and abroad. Nick Fury from the 1610 universe, as you might have guessed, possesses
all the powers and attributes of Samuel Jackson, but without the heavy use of profanity. He is one of the world's leading experts in espionage, detective work, and marksmanship.
He has contingency plans for almost every scenario, and his hand-to-hand combat skills are so good that he can go toe-to-toe with superpowered foes.
Next on this list is a character so hot they needed Halle Berry to play her in the X-Men films. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Storm. Storm is one of the most prominent female characters in the X-Men franchise and one of the most well-known X-Men period.
Her powers include being able to manipulate weather and elements of the atmosphere, which allows her to fly using the wind, create all kinds of storms as her name suggests, generate lightning, and many other things, making her one of the most powerful mutants in Marvel. Storm was part of several superhero teams such as, you guessed it, the X-Men, the Avengers, and even the Fantastic Four. After the death of Charles Xavier and Wolverine, Storm became headmistress of the Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters and leader of the X-Men. Just before the events of the first Marvel Civil War, Storm got married to T'Challa the Black Panther, and they had a very successful marriage up until the events of Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, where Storm, who was also an Avenger at the time, decided to stand and fight with her fellow mutants while the Black Panther stayed behind to fight with his fellow Avengers. Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, aka the Falcon, was originally the sidekick to Captain America, taking the place of Bucky after World War II. Shortly after, Steve Rogers became a member and eventually the leader of the Avengers. Once the super soldier serum began to fade out in Steve Rogers, which caused him to age at an accelerated pace, Steve Rogers passed down his own shield to the Falcon, and Sam took up the mantle as Captain America. And also got a new outfit, which in my opinion is the coolest Captain America costume yet. Sam Wilson is an Olympic level athlete in regards to sprinting, jumping, climbing, acrobatics, and is in peak conditioning for a man his size. Within the Marvel Universe, he is also one of the very best in Western forms of martial arts and combat, such as boxing, wrestling, and kickboxing.
His mental link with his bird Red Wing gives him a much greater field of vision and an extra set of eyes. Not to mention he has a falcon wing harness which allows him to fly. Bars! He has shown as much prowess, if not more, with the vibranium shield as Steve Rogers, and has proven himself an excellent leader as well as an adept strategist. Next on this list is my personal favorite superhero, Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man. Miles Morales, originally from the 1610 universe, took up the mantle as Spider-Man after the Peter Parker from his universe fell in battle against the Green Goblin,
and ironically got his powers in a similar fashion that Peter Parker did. Miles Morales' powers are very comparable to Peter Parker's with a few additions and variations.
Just like the original Spider-Man, Miles possesses superhuman speed, strength, agility, adhesiveness, and even a spider sense.
He also uses a pair of web shooters that he inherited from Peter Parker's Aunt May, and he currently uses a pair of web shooters developed for him specifically by S.H.I.E.L.D.
Miles also possesses the ability to turn invisible and release electric discharge, which he calls the Venom Shock.
Miles Morales' spider sense is depicted to be weaker than Peter Parker's. However, his strength, speed, reflexes might overall be greater than Peter's, as he was able to defeat the Green Goblin, Doctor Doom, other spider clones, and the entirety of Hydra without the use of web shooters. Miles has been a part of several superhuman teams such as the Ultimates, All New, All Different Avengers, and is now in a teenage superhero group called the Champions.
Born Carl Lucas, Luke Cage obtained his powers during an experiment while serving a prison sentence.
Over the course of his career, he meets up with Iron Fist, who becomes his best friend, and together they start a business called the Heroes for Hire. He gets married to another superhero and private investigator named Jessica Jones, once known as Jewel in her crime-fighting days. In live action, Luke Cage was first seen in the hit series Jessica Jones, and even starred in his own critically acclaimed show on Netflix called Luke Cage, where his character gained a substantial amount of increased popularity. After the events of the Avengers Disassemble storyline, Luke Cage became a member of the Avengers, the first time he ever became an official member of an Avengers team, and later became the leader of the new Avengers after the events of the first superhuman Civil War. He then became the leader of the Mighty Avengers. His abilities include super strength, which allows him to lift like 25 tons. Leap great distances, possesses nigh impenetrable and unbreakable skin, granting him superhuman durability. He also has excellent hand-to-hand combat skills and boxing prowess comparable to that of a professional fighter. Born in the fictional African nation known as Wakanda, Black Panther is the first black African superhero to be featured in all of comic books.
Fun fact, the black activist group, the Black Panthers, got their name from this very character.
Black Panther possesses enhanced speed, strength, and reflexes granted to him by a heart-shaped herb reserved for chieftains in Wakanda. The herb also allows him to recall the memories of previous Black Panthers of his ancestry. Black Panther also possesses a suit laced with vibranium. Vibranium, being a metal originally from extraterrestrial origin, is the strongest alloy in the Marvel Universe that is primarily indigenous to Wakanda. While the vibranium suit can be cut on its grain, it is bulletproof and possesses vibranium claws. Black Panther is one of the most intelligent humans in the main Marvel continuity, as well as the wealthiest. He is a top-tier martial artist, and some believe him only being second to Shang-Chi. However, this may be attributed due to his enhanced physical nature as the Black Panther. Black Panther has been a part of several superhero teams, including different Avengers teams, and even the Fantastic Four with his then-wife Storm, a character we talked about earlier. Well, there you have it, folks. That's BrimeZus' top 10 list of Marvel Black superheroes. I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I did producing it.
But wait, the fun's not over. I, BrimeZus, like to share my peace and blessings out the interwebs by giving away these prizes.
Winners will receive their very own King Chimera shirt, which was often used as the backdrop for this video. All you have to do is share this video on any of your social media accounts and tag me in the post. You can like me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram at King Chimera and follow me on Twitter at BrimeZus. Thanks again for watching. See you guys real soon.